In this Shed Online cooking activity today, I'm going to show you how to make rissoles on the barbecue. I've got some prime beef mince, about ½ kilo, and to go with those I'm going to mix the meat from 3 chorizo sausages. That'll give it a little bit of a spice and it'll make them an interesting flavour. We've got some green shallots cut up, some parsley, a little bit of salt, an egg to bind it all, and also some breadcrumbs. Now these breadcrumbs have been made from homemade bread, because if you use very dry breadcrumbs, you'll need to soak them in a little bit of milk just to soften them up a little bit before you use them. But if you don't have breadcrumbs that you can make yourself, just take a slice of old bread. All you need to do is soak it in a little bit of milk, squeeze the excess fluid out of it, and use that as part of your mix. Here's your beef. Now the chorizo sausages, I've just trimmed the ends off. Just squeeze them in. We'll break in an egg. Now, if you prefer not to use chorizo sausages, you could add 250 grams of pork and just a few pinches of chilli. We'll add the breadcrumbs. There's probably a good ½ cup, 2/3 of a cup is plenty. Now I'd prefer to use the green shallots cut up rather than the onion. I find if you're using brown onions, the onion is rather strong in flavour and doesn't cook down too well on a barbecue. So if you're going to use brown onions, then perhaps pre-cook them a little bit. Otherwise use shallots or chives and some parsley. Like that, and then we can work the mixture by hand. I'll wash my hands nice and clean. Okay, mix it until it's all incorporated. Now I'm going to roll them into patties and put them into a tray to take to the barbecue. So I'm going to dampen my hands slightly first. If you dampen your hands, then the meat mixture won't stick to your hands and you can form the patties quite well. So that's probably a good size. Yeah, just mix them up. You should be able to get about 8 to 10 rissoles about this size. I might just say that if you change your mind about making these on the barbecue, for instance, you might get a shower of rain and you can't use it, or if you run out of gas, you can turn this mixture into a bolognese sauce. Just cook it up in a pan and just add it to some pasta. You should try that one day. It's quite good. And here are our hamburger rissoles, ready to take out to the barbecue for our meal. Yum. Well, the barbecue's been heated up for about 10 or 15 minutes, so it's nice and hot and pre-prepared. One of the things I saw in one of the Shed Online video clips was how to clean your barbecue with a cut onion. Here's a cut onion on the end of a pair of tongs. It's going to wipe it over the grating, which is the part that I wanted to clean. I cleaned the platter before, but this does a great job and it's a handy tip. Now I've got the rissole hamburgers sitting here in a tray, and we'll just place them on and get them cooking. Now every barbecue is different. If you know your own barbecue, you'll know where the hot spots are. So try to keep the meat cooking in the hottest part of the plate so they don't stew. Now, meat when it cooks contracts a bit, so you'll need to flatten them out a little bit, so I'll just do that with that spatula. You don't want to make them too flat like you get in a hamburger roll, because you want a bit of pinkness inside, but nice and crispy on the outside. So that'll do us. Now, I'm not adding any salt or pepper, as I said before, that the chorizo's got full of flavour and a bit of spice, and it should be just right the way it is. Now what I do sometimes is I brown them on both sides, partially cook them, and then to brown them up or crisp them up, put them onto the griller here in the last few minutes. Now you really only need to turn them once. Get them nice and brown on the underside till they're half cooked through, and then turn them over. you'll know that it's ready to turn when you get some of the meat juices coming to the surface. If the barbecue is too hot, well, you can soon tell because it starts to burn underneath. They're getting quite brown under there, so it might just turn down the heat a little bit. Now these rissoles are about half done, nicely browned underneath, and it's time to turn them over. So the browning of the rissoles is very flavoursome, but you mustn't let them get too black because otherwise they turn out like charcoal. But these are just right. So this part of the barbecue plate is the hottest part. We can just leave them there for about 5 minutes and then we'll serve them up. So these have been cooking away for about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll just cut one in half to see if it's done in the centre. Now that one there, as you'll see, a little bit pink inside. So these are certainly done, and I'm going to put them over to a plate here. Good.